2022 finished in style as a special World Cup came to a close in Qatar. This summer it's the turn of Australia and New Zealand to host the tournament as the best women's players in the game make their way down under. So can the US make it 3 in a row, or could we see an upset? Hello there and welcome to Football Now from Doha. Just 1 month to go until one of the sport's biggest competitions kicks off. The FIFA Women's World Cup takes place in both Australia and New Zealand for the first time. You can look back on our Football Now episode from March to see a rundown of the stadiums that are hosting matches. But this week, we're taking a look at some of the favourites to win the competition. So let's start with the reigning champions then, the USA, who have won the competition a record 4 times. So will 2023 be the year that they hit that magic number 5?
Well, I think they're in pretty good shape right now, and they showed it during the recent She Believes Cup sort of mini tournament that was played at the same time as the Arnold Clark Cup and some of the other tournaments around the world. The mental piece of it is undoubtedly a big deal. And it's actually an interesting storyline with this U.S. squad because they will go into the World Cup with a significant number of players who have not played in a major tournament before. And even a player like Christy Mewis, who debuted at the Olympics, well, there were no fans in the stands, so it was a different kind of dynamic. I think that's a big piece of why Megan Rapinoe is with this team now, even though she's not a starter, even though she's not a guaranteed player, frankly, at all. I don't know if there is one absolute slam dunk favorite in this World Cup, but I think the U.S. is certainly going to be on the list of the many favorites that there are.
So the USA knows what it's like to win trophies, but so do strong contenders England, who picked up the European Championships trophy last summer when beating Germany at Wembley in the final. They will, though, be without some of their key players this summer due to injury, so can they go one step further and win the big one?
I think the Women's World Cup this summer could be a struggle for England, although, as you say, they're favourites. They're missing their best players. I mean, firstly, you've got Leah Williamson. She's a captain, she's the leader. She was incredible during the Euros, and she's been incredible for Arsenal as well this season as well. She also scored in that final in the Euros as well. But, you know, you've also got the others, Beth Mead, who's been incredible as well. And then there's also Fran Kirby as well, who's had her struggles with injuries over the years, but she's been incredible for England as well. And I know that she will be gutted to miss out on this World Cup.
Now, Germany have won the Women's World Cup twice, last lifting the trophy in 2007. But that loss to England in the Euros final could mean that they have something to prove this summer. The national elf has both youth and experience on their side. The big question is, can they make it count?
Something that Germany have done really well over the past couple of years is give young players a chance really early on. So we saw a lot of young players at the 2019 World Cup for Germany get a good load of minutes. So there are players who are still in their early 20s who are going to their second World Cup. I think it's that blend of youth and experience which makes Germany really dangerous, but Germany have the players to win this World Cup 100%.
Now, Sweden are renowned as a dominant force in women's international football and consistently display impressive performances in major competitions. Whether it's the World Cup, the Euros or the Olympics, they regularly find themselves at the latter stages of tournaments. The problem is, they haven't won anything since 1984. So, can they turn fine attempts into a winning mentality?
Yeah, Sweden feel like the perennial bridesmaids of women's football, to be honest. They regularly go really deep in tournaments, but it just feels like they've never got that final moment to get them over the line. And I think the Euros was an especially tough one for them because they obviously reached the semi-finals only to be totally humbled by England losing 4-0, obviously. They've still got, you know, a host of really exciting, really talented players. Fridolina Rolfo, who scored the winning goal in the Champions League final, she's probably the standout one for them. But I think Sweden's problem a lot of the time is they've got very talented players, but they're not always the most consistent. I think they've got an issue whereby lots of the players in the squad who you'd want to really be standout players also haven't had loads of minutes at their club. But listen, they're still a team who know what it is to get to the latter stages of competitions. But I think in terms of the organisation of the team, they feel quite chaotic. They haven't really had those kind of confidence-boosting wins, which you feel like they would have needed in between that sort of embarrassing Euros exit and the World Cup to really be seen as a threat.
What about some of the other contenders then? Well, the hosts have injuries to contend with, but in Sam Kerr and Ellie Carpenter, they've got 2 players capable of taking them to glory, not to mention home advantage. France have a new manager at the helm. Hervé Renard is highly regarded, particularly after his impressive performance as Saudi Arabia coach at the men's tournament last summer. Could 2023 be the year that Les Bleus win their first Women's World Cup? Spain have some of the best players in the world, including Aitana Bonmati, Sandra Paños and Ballon d'Or winner Alexia Putellas. But after a falling out with their manager Jorge Vilda, 15 of their key players have currently made themselves unavailable for selection. So will this tournament come too soon for Las Soñadoras? Incredibly, this could be Marta's 6th World Cup. Brazil are by no means the favourites, but they've been in every tournament since the first in 1991, and having reached the final in 2007, they've got pedigree. Keep an eye out for the 2021 Olympics gold winners medalists Canada and 2019 World Cup runners-up the Netherlands too. Yeah, it's fair to say that this is going to be one of the most open Women's World Cups we've seen for quite some time. That brings us to the end of this week's show. Do let us know your thoughts at home using the hashtag FootballNowWomen's World Cup, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.